So we are in our language arts notebook, opened up to our grammar section. We have one vocabulary word to add today, and that is direct quotation. Now we've talked a little bit about direct quotations, and on your Winn-Dixie test, you guys actually had to finish a direct quotation as a part of your test when you were asked to complete sentences. What do you think a direct quotation is? If someone asked you, hey, what is that? What would you tell them? Will, what would you tell them?
Like when you're talking just straight to them.
Okay, talking straight to someone. What else? What else is a direct quotation? Yes, Chanel.
Like when you just said my name, you said my name, and you said yes. So like if I said Mrs. Enting,
Yep.
hi, how are you? That's a direct quotation because it's meant to you.
Okay, so you guys, you're getting close. Direct quotation, the quotation part of it, you're right, is about speaking, but what does the direct part of that mean? Mackenzie?
It means something. So say you said something about soccer, and then somebody else said something exactly what you said. That's a direct quotation because he said exactly what you said. He or she quoted you.
Yes. So a direct quotation is the exact words that someone has spoken. So for example, you can write a direct quotation from a book, but it would be the direct words that the author has written. So that direct means word for word. Exactly. So, guys, the definition we're going to write down is the exact words a person has spoken. And we're going to underline exact.
Or we could put it all in uppercase.
Yeah, you could do that. So the exact words a person has spoken. Or written, like I said, you can write a direct quotation from a book. So you know, if you've ever tried to like annoy one of your siblings and you say exactly what they're saying after they say it, have any of you done that? Or yes, when you are doing that, you are practicing a direct quotation. So, okay, we're gonna do a little activity. So first, when you get this written down, put a thumbs up on your desk so I know you're ready. Thumbs up on your desk so I know you're ready. Direct quotation is the exact words a person has spoken. I'm going to add underneath or written so that you do know, I just thought of this, so that you do remember that it can also be from a book, so or written. We can pull a direct quotation from a book. Thumbs up, that's all I'm looking for right now. A thumbs up when you are done. Whoever's whistling, please stop. Thank you. Thumbs up when you have this written down. The exact words a person has spoken or written. So like on a test, like because of Winn-Dixie, you could have been asked, you know, word for word, what did Opal respond to the preacher when he said this? Or you could write a direct, so that would be kind of a direct quotation from Opal. Or you can just write a direct quotation from like a paragraph, in that case, it's like kind of from the author, because not everything in the book is coming from a character, right? Mm-hmm. So sometimes a direct quotation can be kind of from the author. So direct quotation, the exact words a person has spoken or written. So that means you aren't paraphrasing, you aren't skipping words, you aren't, like if you're taking it from a book, you aren't skipping over certain punctuation like a colon or a comma. You're writing exactly as it's written or exactly as it is spoken. Yes, Max?
Is there like a, not direct quotation, but like the tone of what you say? Is there like a direct tonation for it or no?
I mean, you could kind of say it the way you just did, a direct tonation. No, there isn't like a specific like term for that, but you can copy someone's tone, definitely. Layla.
There's like a long direct quotation in a movie.
Mhm.
Babysitters do that, I'm pretty sure.
Mhm.
And one of their babysitters, he keeps something wide. He keeps something wide.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. So, does everyone have this written down?
Yep, I do.
Okay, we're going to practice a direct quotation, but speaking a direct quotation. So what I want you to do, and this might be a little hard, you are going, when I say start, you are going to start saying exactly what I have said as I have said it. So that means you need to be listening to what I am saying and then saying exactly what it is that I have said. Yes, Chanel?
So we basically get a chance to mimic you without getting in trouble?
Yeah. Yes. Well.
We could play this game called Telephone.
We're going to do this instead. All right. Are you ready? So you might not want to be chewing your snack right now. All right. And start. It's a beautiful day outside, and so you guys should be talking. It's a beautiful day outside, and they are cutting down trees to put in solar panels. I really hope we can go outside this afternoon because it looks super nice, and I think it's supposed to get warmer. However, that all depends on whether or not you guys have enough work time and aren't talking too much. How many of you got stuck about halfway through? Okay. How many of you, because you were trying to quote me as I was talking, you started paraphrasing things and trying to catch up to where I was?
How many of you?
Yep. Now, my friends in the back, you probably weren't able to hear as well as my friends in the front, right?
Yep.
Yes. But, okay, we're done. Stop. Thank you. Good job. Does the concept of a direct quotation make sense to you? That it's word for word what someone has written or spoken? Yes. Okay, awesome. So, when we write a direct quotation, we're going to have some examples under this so that you know when you are asked to write a direct quotation, you know exactly how to capitalize it and how to use punctuation with it. So, we're going to write down an example of a direct quotation at the beginning of a sentence and the end of a sentence, as well as, have any of you ever read in a book where it says, it's so hot outside, said Gregory. I really hope we can go to the pool, where there's kind of direct quotations on both sides. It's kind of split up. Have you ever read that in a book? We're also going to practice that. So, we're going to have 3 examples today. So 1, beginning of a sentence. So our first one at the beginning of a sentence. So direct quotations are pretty much written very similar no matter where they are in the sentence, but there are a few differences. So we want to practice writing them down. So at the beginning of the sentence, we would start that sentence with quotation marks because our direct quote's at the beginning. So,
Why do they know it's really bad?
so at the beginning of a sentence, that is not the right cap. My dog is fluffy, said Miss E. So what I am saying, the direct quotations at the beginning of the sentence. So we are capitalizing the M in my. We are putting quotations around the entire thing I said. Now you guys, is my comma inside or outside of the quotation marks?
Inside.
It's inside, so the comma comes before the quotation mark. And then we have said Miss E in our end punctuation. So when our direct quote is at the beginning, this is exactly how we write it.
Wait, are we
when we write it, we have to write it exactly how you wrote it.
I'd like you to for the examples.
I mean, like in the same.
Well,
font and
if
same
you think
style.
about it this way, Mackenzie, you should be directly quoting my direct quotation example. All right. Then, our second one is the end of the sentence. Second example. End of a sentence.
The end of a sentence. End of a sentence.
Sandwich.
End of a sandwich.
The end of a sentence. Oh, I'm gonna show our chillers. My dog is fluffy, said Missy. End of a sentence. So, when it's at the end of the sentence, so if we said, Miss E said, oh, actually, I'm going to make this purple so it stands out. Ready to rock. Voices should be off.
My dog is fluffy. No way.
So, end of the sentence. Miss E said, comma, my dog is fluffy. Then there's a period. Oh, I should make that purple.
My dog.
I'm sorry, Mackenzie.
Okay, now get my paper pen.
My dog's fluffy.
Now, you might be thinking, Miss E, why are you making the punctuation different? A different color? Because if you notice in our first example, beginning of a sentence, our comma was inside the quotation mark, right?
Yes.
But then when it's at the end of a sentence, is that comma inside the quotation mark? No, because what that comma does is it's separating the quotation from the rest of the sentence. So up here, the quotation came first, so it's going to be attached to the direct quotation, and it's separating the said Miss E. But then when our direct quotation's at the end of the sentence, it still needs to separate those two parts. So that comma is going to attach itself to the first part, Miss E said. And that's not part of the quotation, so it's not included within the parentheses. But since the quotation's at the end, what is included inside I was saying parentheses, sorry, quotation marks. What is included inside the quotation marks?
Period.
I'm pointing at it.
Period.
Yeah, our end punctuation. Our end punctuation would be inside the quotation marks. Are we ready to move on to our final example?
Yes.
Yeah, middle of our sentence.
The middle.
Yep.
Middle.
So, number 3.
I feel bad for middle. It's always last.
Why isn't it second? It's the middle.
Because the beginning and the end are like the easier ones, and the middle one's like the harder
The
one.
end, Charles.
Middle. Why you gotta be so hard?
So,
It's your fault you're always last.
The middle of the sandwich.
ready to rock? You ready? All right.
Middle of the sandwich.
So, if we have a quote split up. Oh, dang. 5th grade? You're wasting time? Thank you. You're part of it.
Grade 5. I'm not part of 5th grade. I'm part of grade 5.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, grade 5. Not 5th grade.
Grade 5.
Oh, wait, need to make it perfect.
Oh,
My dog.
Dog, said Missy.
My dog. No, you need to write. Wait, whose dog? My dog. Is Fluffy? My dog, said Missy. Is Fluffy. Dang, that's smart.
ready to rock.
Very well.
Ready to rock.
Very well.
Okay, so then our final example. Middle of the sentence. My dog, said Missy, is Fluffy. Now, what do we notice about our commas and end punctuation and quotation marks for when our direct quote is in the middle, or is kind of split. Maybe I shouldn't have said middle of the sentence. Maybe we should have said split sentence. I also spelled sentence wrong. I'm surprised no one said that.
Well, it's supposed to be sandwich, so it's the same thing.
I suppose.
I didn't say anything because I also
End of the sandwich, beginning of the sandwich, middle
Yeah.
of the sandwich.
Sorry. Okay, so middle of the sentence probably wasn't the best way of phrasing this. However, it's split up, right?
Yeah, potato.
Banana split sentence.
Oh, banana split sentence. I like it. So, we have some of the quote at the beginning and at the end. Now, we start it just like we did at the beginning of the sentence, right? We start with our quotation marks. We say our quote, and then, purple. Then we have our comma, and we end our quote. My boy's in the back. Why are you talking? I don't appreciate when I'm trying to explain something and you don't think it's important enough to listen. Learning isn't just on me. If you're not willing to learn, there's nothing I can do. I can be up here talking all day and teaching, but if you're not willing to learn and listen, you're not going to learn. And is that on me or is that on you? Yeah, it's on you guys. So I need you to be willing to learn in order for me to teach you. Capiche? Thanks. So, it's kind of like we combine 1 and 2, beginning and end. We start with our quotation marks, the quote, we include that comma, and we end our quote. Then we just, said Miss E, but our quotation isn't done. So that is when, then we're kind of taking this part, inserting it, and then the end of the sentence. Our comma, we have 2 commas here, because remember, the commas kind of separate the different parts of our sentence. We go from a quotation to like kind of regular, so then comma. Then we're going back into a quotation, so we need a comma. And we end it with our end punctuation inside. How many of you have seen these 3 types of quotes in a book before? How many of you have seen that? Yeah, I have. Any book you've read has probably had all 3 of these types of quotations in it when a character is speaking. Yes, this isn't always as common. It's usually 1 or 2, but kind of when you're getting into higher level books, that is when authors are starting to split up quotations. Yeah, kind of make it dramatic. Or how many of you have ever had the sky is getting dark outside. Susie paused for effect. I wonder if it's going to storm. So, it's kind of funny, right? But sometimes authors do that for a dramatic effect, right? Yeah, so sometimes it's for dramatic effect too. All right, now you guys, would we do anything different if this was a question or an exclamation? No, you would just be using a different end punctuation. It would still be in the same place it is with the period. Yeah. But guys, do you notice how it kind of changes depending on how you write it? So, my dog is fluffy, said Miss E. Miss E said, my dog is fluffy. Or, my dog, said Miss E, is fluffy.
Wait.
Yes, Mackenzie.
Why? I thought. Wait. When it says like beginning, does it mean like the quote is in the beginning? Because at first I was at the end. I thought like the said.
I should have made this different. This is like, I like how Will phrased it, like a banana split sandwich or sentence.
Did you get the sandwich from Mackenzie?
I did.
Sandwich.
Yeah.
Kind of like a banana split sentence. We're splitting up the quote. Yeah, I like that better. We can call that a banana split sentence.
Why sentence? Why can't it just be sandwich?
Because it's a sentence and it's grammar. Yep. All right. What I'd like you guys to do is in your EPB, please open up to page 115. 115.
You've already been questioned by my EPE.
Yeah.
Oh, I found it.
115.
That's 113. That's 6.
If you can hear me, touch the top of your head. If you can hear me, touch your shoulder. If you can hear me, touch your elbow. All right, we are on page 115 in our EPB, and we're going to take a look at it. So, for numbers 1 through 6, it says, I hope you're listening. Add the quotation marks, commas, and end punctuation where needed in these sentences. So they have sentences there, you guys, and they have not added the things I wrote in purple. See, that's why I did it, so I would bring your attention to it. They have not added the quotation marks, the commas, or the end punctuation. I got the purple. Nice. So your job is to do that. So first thing you're doing for those first 6 problems, you're looking, where is my direct quotation? If it's in the beginning of the sentence, you're following the example 1. If it's at the end of the sentence, you're following example 2. If it's split up, then you are following example number 3. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So you're doing quotation marks, commas, and end punctuation. Then, for numbers 7 through 14, you are rewriting each sentence and adding quotation marks, commas, and end punctuation and capital letters where needed. So, ready to rock?
Ready to roll.
The difference between the first and second part of your page. The first page, it's all written out for you, and you're just adding things in. The second part, you are rewriting the sentence. You're doing all the same stuff as the first part, but then you also need to look to see if anything needs to be capitalized. Are there questions? All right. I'm going to give you work time. During this work time, what should our volume level be?
0.
0. If you happen to finish this, what is an option that you could work on after your EPB page? You could read, you could write, you could work on something else quietly at your desk, but should you be talking to friends just because you are done?
No.
No. All right, you go ahead and I will turn on work music.